Monday, May 6th, has issued a high risk of severe weather, and it is confirmed that it is causing damage. Again, it's this little area right here. If you are in this area north of Parkin,
Now, hello everybody, my name is Christian and welcome back to Skycast, and we are going to be talking about a severe weather outbreak that is going to be taking place starting today and intensifying over the weekend into early next week. Let's go ahead, break this down, and talk about what's going to happen. Now, so far for today, we have a slight risk of severe weather across parts of southeast Nebraska into parts of central and northeast Kansas, and then here in extreme west-northwestern Missouri. We also have this marginal risk of severe thunderstorm stretching from Amarillo, Texas, all the way up into Centerville, Iowa. This is going to maintain this area, and then we have general thunderstorm risk all the way out and around, and then another small little coastal marginal risk for damaging winds over here towards the west coast of Oregon and Northern California. But mainly for today, the 9th, going to be centered right here across the central center plains. Now, aside from maybe a few isolated showers here and there, there's not going to be a lot happening within this zone until we get to the more evening hours, about maybe 5 or 6 Central Standard Time. Could be a little bit later. This model in particular predicts storms to start firing about 6 or 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we can see them kind of going off right here towards Lincoln and Beatrice, Nebraska. And if we continue to play this through, these will strengthen into, well, kind of messy together, will strengthen into strong to potentially even a few severe thunderstorms capable of damaging winds, large hail, and the threat for a brief tornado. These are also possible to be supercells, so depending on how congealed things do look as we actually get into initiation, that'll be something to watch. But we could see a few supercells, especially around here on the frontal zone from Pawnee City down into Belleville. And if we play this through, these are not going to last a long time, a few hours. Initiation, once again, about 6 or 7, really starts to congeal and die down around 11 p.m. to midnight Central Standard Time. So definitely something to watch there. And then with the marginal risk that we do have in place, it's going to be very scattered. Like, for example, the 18ZHRRR here doesn't predict much going on down here in the marginal risk zone, but we do have a few storms that are popping up here on this model, which could show for a potential isolated strong thunderstorm or two. So if you're in the marginal or the slight risk for today, remain weather aware. As we get into tomorrow, the 10th, we have a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms across parts of the more southern-like central plains from New Mexico to Macari, Clayton, all the way over here into parts of into Missouri and parts of Arkansas. And if we do play this through, not really a major severe weather event we are looking at here, but just a potential for a few isolated strong to particularly severe storms within this region. Not really going to be looking at a ton of severe thunderstorm warnings, but 1 or 2 definitely possible, and the potential for small hail and maybe a brief damaging wind gust or 2 will be present. Now, we are not in range just yet for any additional short-range models on reflectivity, so I'm not going to show those off right now. But for the day 3 on Saturday the 11th, we do have a severe weather risk across western Texas, and this is going to be the start of the big severe weather outbreak that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. The marginal risk stretches all the way up to Omaha, Nebraska. The slight risk maintained here across the south and west panhandle, Clovis, Amarillo, Lubbock, into parts of Midland, down here into Fort Stockton and Del Rio. The potential for damaging winds, large hail, and perhaps a tornado or 2 possible with this risk. As we get into Sunday, the 12th, we have a 15% severe weather risk across parts of the south central plains. This is going to be from Kerrville, Texas, all the way up into Hutchinson, Kansas. Does include Wichita Falls, Dallas, Abilene, Oklahoma City, and Bartlesville. And this is really one to continue watching to see how the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center continues to upgrade. And then we start getting into days that could be significant severe, or at least that have trended to be significant severe weather as of right now in longer range models. Here we have My microphone there cut out, but we have Monday the 13th across a large portion of the Mississippi Valley and up into the Midwest from St. Cloud all the way down into parts of Dallas, Texas, includes many major cities like Sioux City, Des Moines, Iowa, into Jefferson City and Springfield, Missouri, down into Tulsa and Oklahoma City yet again. And this, like I said, this is one of those days that could end up being a significant severe weather day with the potentials for supercells and a QLCS as well. Really gonna need to be ironing out that storm mode as we get closer into time, but this is one day that we will need to watch very closely, and Tuesday could even be worse. Tuesday the 14th, an even larger severe weather risk has been highlighted by the National Weather Service from Lansing all the way down into San Angelo. This is millions of people under this risk. It includes major cities like Wichita Falls, Oklahoma City, Wichita, Kansas, into parts of Des Moines, Milwaukee, Chicago. Chicago's a big one under this risk. And this has a potential to be a major severe weather day as it's currently trending. There is definitely the time for things to change. I mean, this is 6 days out, so a lot of time for things to downtrend, things to swap. But I do want to stress that as of right now on these longer range models, definitely a concern for the environment that's here. And then last and not least, we have a day 7 risk for Wednesday. This is going to be from Austin, Texas, up into Chicago, Illinois. This is going to include cities like Springfield, Davenport, Jefferson City, Springfield, Fort Smith, Dallas, and Texarkana. And this, yet again, has the potential to be a leftover, potentially significant severe weather event. The National Weather Service has this at a day 7 risk. So that is 7 days out, almost a week out. And for them to have confidence of this, that is definitely something to keep an eye out. Definitely a concerning trend that we're watching. Now that we've gotten all these risks out, a lot of talking here, let's kind of show off what's causing this. Now, this map may be a little bit confusing to people, but don't worry, I'll explain it off. We have the map of the United States here with forecasted upper level winds, and as we continue to kind of play this through as we get into the weekend, this big old thing right here, this is the trough that is going to be starting our severe weather threats for the next week, and this is going to be ejecting pretty much consistently out into parts of the Central Plains and the Midwest, into parts of the Mississippi Valley here. But these little short waves are going to be ejecting from this big trough ahead of time. So we have these little pinks right here that are showing these upper level winds, and that's kind of helping to get some of these lower end severe weather days that we have been talking about today, tomorrow, those slight marginal risks. But as we continue to get into parts of Monday into Tuesday, that trough gets closer. Those upper level winds, they get more intense. We have more moisture and instability funneling out of the Gulf, and when all that collides, that's when we are looking at that potential severe weather outbreak. It's just a matter of when that happens and where that happens, where those ingredients will collide and potentially have those supercells. That's going to be that area that needs to be honed in on as we get closer into time. So for example, here we got Tuesday, as I was saying, was looking like it could be one of the biggest severe weather days of this event, and we have the upper level winds absolutely roaring above Oklahoma City, Wichita. That threat was once again stretching from Detroit all the way down here into parts of Texas. So definitely a real concern, and as that goes out, that will continue on. But even as we look back, this GFS is not really one to continue playing out further and further, but I do just want to show off that this pattern is continuing. We will have yet again more troughs digging out, more active upper level winds, and this is simply tornado season for the United States. This is not something that's going to disappear. We will continue to have likely these severe weather events as we continue through the month of April and into May. So if you don't have it now, get with your family and have that severe weather plan ready and in place, depending on where you are anywhere in the United States. Besides that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you for choosing Skycast as your go-to weather place. My name is Christian. You can follow me on X. Link is in the description. Have a great day. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.